They are probably the most generous folks I've ever worked with. I love their commitment to the city. I love their commitment to individual people and nonprofits.
Growing up at a very young age, seeing what it means to help others and support others, there's a blessing part of a blessing that we always have in our family with every meal that says, God, help us to help others.
They feel blessed. They feel blessed that their company, Old Dominion Freight Lines, has succeeded. They believe God played a role in that, and they believe that it is their responsibility to take that success and invest it back into the community, which they've done in small ways and in large ways.
Earl and Kitty's philosophy has been to give. I think most importantly, it all flows from Luke 12:48, to whom much is given, much is required. And we as a family have been blessed by God.
They really take the heart verses in the Bible where it talks about those who have been given much, much is expected. I think when they give, they don't give to organizations, they give to people. And I think they have a real heart for making the lives of others better.
The Congdon family has created a culture where they give back, but it even extends to the work family.
You know, they've created this culture at Old Dominion that also is a culture of thankfulness, of giving back.
Old Dominion is always breaking the numbers for what the employees give back to the United Way. And so that only is coming from that culture, you know, to help others who are not as fortunate. And that, of course, comes from the head, from Earl and Kitty.
And they're such humble people, but yet when others know that the Congdon families are involved in something, they want to be a part of it because they know that they have spent time and research and that they truly believe that whatever they're doing is going to make an impact. That encourages others to want to do the same and to be on the same team as Earl and Kitty.
Humility is really strength under control, and they have this strength about them. They built this wonderful company during difficult times. Today, they're working on rebuilding a wonderful community in difficult times. It's that humility and that compassion that drives their work and all that they do for this area.
And Kitty and Earl see that not just their giving is helping others, but it's also an investment in people in our communities and helping make the world a better place. And they want to see that investment, if you want to use that word, be long-lasting, be able to sustain through the years. And some of these organizations that are startup have good leadership, and they just need a little bit of support to get it started.
I'll never forget when, at the end of the meeting, when he was getting ready to leave, and he looked at me and he said, "I'm going to help you and help your community." And it was like he gave me a check then, but of course it wasn't the money, but it was the belief that he had in his eyes, and I think the conviction that was in his voice that he would be there to help our community, and of course, they definitely have.
They're not just interested in the large projects, in the buildings and the larger projects in this city. They're interested in every single thing that impacts the lives of people, especially those most vulnerable in our city. They care about the people. They want to have a brighter future. They want to make a positive impact for change so that even those most vulnerable people can have opportunities.
We have focused on trying to be part of the downtown revitalization efforts, to bring people back to High Point's downtown and to bring community together and to offer programs that will involve all citizens of High Point.
When you walk into the Congdon Yards and you meet that business person or potential business person, it's like, you know, you're a full corporation because that space had been provided for you to do your best.
This is a place to build social capital, so you'll see it throughout the campus, a place that's welcoming. We just initiated the Minority Entrepreneurial Initiative and lots of different programs where people will feel welcome here.
I think they're in the business of seeing a city being transformed to a place that others can look at and say, this is what's possible, this is the potential, this is what a community can do together.
There's a purpose for them being here, and that helps guide them to all these efforts that come across their paths. And at the very root of it and at the very foundation of it, it's their faith.
It's all out of love for family, love for community, love for friends, and that's just the way they are. They're a loving couple, and I think that's why they've done all that they've done in their 90 years of life on this earth.
We thank you on behalf of all of us for caring so deeply about God's children and for reaching out beyond yourself to help the community and its nonprofit organizations in bountiful way.
I guess the reason you all have Kitty and me here is because of our involvement in philanthropy, and it's pretty great, honestly. The United Way had been calling on us, and we were making small donations and so forth. So I asked them if they needed another volunteer, and they said yes. And what they got me to do was to be on a committee that would call on their needy folks that were getting money from the United Way. And I was supposed to be able to tell the United Way whether money was being spent wisely, and it was. And then there was the High Point Community Foundation, and I got into that, and they put me on the board of directors, which I enjoyed, and I got to learn a lot more about poverty and need and so forth. In fact, Kitty and I had a little spare money, and we started a donor advised fund. To tell you the truth, I didn't know what a donor advised fund was, but they sure knew, and so they have been managing our donor advised fund all these years. And we've given away a lot of money, and it's been a lot of fun doing it. I think my experience in working with those two agencies and learning and going into the homes and the businesses of entities that were getting the money and seeing what they were doing with it and meeting their children that were benefiting and so forth, it makes you almost want to cry. When we saw the need and as our own personal circumstances got better, it was time to give some of it back. And that's what we're doing, and we're proud of it, and we're having a good time. I think it's more fun giving away our own money than it was giving away the United Way's money. I thought that was fun, but I wondered if it was my money, how would I still like it as well, and I like it even better. We appreciate the fact that you all have noticed us, and we thank you for this wonderful event and this award.